Hi there, Chris Cochran with the McDavid Group. Today we're going to talk about the one thing that you can do right now to set yourself up for the greatest chance of success in the future in the finance office. The one thing you can do right now that either you're not doing or you're not doing correctly. But before I go forward, we need to agree on one thing. We need to agree that you're never as good as you're ever going to be. We need to agree that Kaizen is the way to go. Kaizen is the Japanese idea of constant or continuous improvement. If we can't agree on that, and if you think you're as good as you're ever going to be, shut off the video, go find something better to do with your time. If you can agree with me on that, then we can move forward. So the one thing that you can do to create the best chance of success in the future in the finance office is set proper goals. Now don't roll your eyes. The key word here is proper. We've all talked about setting goals and writing goals down. The key is proper, because I believe a lot of us who actually do the goals are doing them incorrectly. So first thing we need to talk about is how we're tracking the goals. Most of us will look over the previous month, see how we did, and then decide how we want to do the next month. The flaw in that is, have you ever had a good month? Have you ever had a bad month? How can you judge yourself on 1 month? So, we, and myself, believe you should judge 90 days. Judge yourself on a 90-day average, and here's why. You're never as good as your best month. You're never as bad as your worst month. 90 days will give us a good sample size to decide how you're truly doing in whatever metric it is that you're judging. So the first thing is use a 90-day average. Very important. Now, what about the metrics that you're judging, the metrics you're tracking and setting goals on? Most of us are going to say PVR. And I agree that PVR is an important metric. That's how most of our pay plans are designed. The problem is, let's assume that your store is generally running 70% finance, 20% cash, and 10% lease. And then next month, your manufacturer comes out with some insane lease special, and all of a sudden your lease penetration jumps to 30% and your finance penetration jumps down to 50%. What's most likely going to happen to your overall PVR? It's probably going to go down. Is that because you had a bad month? No, you may have had one of the best months you've ever had, but you're beating yourself up because your overall PVR went down. Flip that around and let's pretend you're normally 50% lease, and now the lease incentives have gone down, new models have come out, they don't need to discount them, so all of a sudden your finance penetration jumps up and your lease penetration goes down, and you're beating your chest because you had a great month, when in reality it may have not been a good month. So PVR, I don't believe, is the best way to set and track a goal. So what do we use? I have 3 to 5 metrics that I like to look at. First one, PFD. That's per finance deal. PLD, that's per lease deal. And PCD, guess what that is? Per cash deal. Looking at these individually can take out that error when one of these penetrations go up or down and affects our overall PVR through no fault of our own. Now what about products? A lot of us are paid on a product matrix or product penetration. You can judge yourself on products, but the problem comes back to the same thing. If your lease and cash deals go up and your finance deals go down, generally speaking, all things being equal, your overall product penetration is going to go down. So I look at 2 main product penetrations. I look at VSC, which is service contracts, but I take leases out. Back to what I said earlier, leases go up, it only makes sense that service contract penetration goes down. The other one we look at here at the McDavid Group is aftermarket or ancillary products. That's everything except for VSC and except for GAP. GAP is a funky one. It's important to look at your GAP penetration, but the problem is leases go up, cash goes up, GAP goes down. You can track it just on finance deals if you want. We run into issues when the manufacturer runs 0% for 36 months and you have cash buyers that are now financing. It can throw off your GAP penetration number as well. So it's an important metric, but I don't track it for the sake of setting goals because we don't want to get too confused with too many numbers. So we have what we're tracking and what we're basing it on. But how do we actually do it? So, what we're going to look at is, let's say you had a $900, we're going to use PFD, by the way. We're going to use per finance deal for this presentation. Let's say you did 900, 1100, and 1000. And this is April, May, and June. So if you had these numbers in April, May, and June on your finance deals alone, and I know most of us are thinking that's a really low number, this is for the sake of math, so bear with me. Your average is going to be $1,000, right? So going into July, your 90-day average is $1,000. What are you going to goal yourself at? That's up for you to decide. 5% increase, 10% increase. I'm a fan of 10%. In this case, 10% would be an $1,100 goal. Is that out of the realm of possibility? I mean, you did it in May, right? So 10% is not a crazy number in this case. So $1,100, if we hit $1,100, right, in July, now, what's our 90-day average? It goes to approximately 1,070, right? And we keep doing this throughout the year. Over time, you're going to see, if you keep hitting 10%, which would be amazing, this 90-day average creep up, creep up. But how do we know if we're doing good or we're not doing good? How do we know if we're improving, going backwards, staying the same? We need to track this stuff. We need to keep a chart of it so that we can see that. So here's what the chart's going to look like. You're going to have time down here, different 90-day segments, and then you're going to have your metric up here. We'll call this PFD, and you're going to plot it. You're going to plot the 90-day average, and you're going to look at that, and you'll be able to tell quickly, is my 90-day average going up? Is my 90-day average going down? Is it staying the same? And then you can determine what actions to take. Maybe PFD is constantly improving, but you notice that your cash penetration or your cash deals are going down. Where's your focus going to be? Your cash deals. Or your leases are going up, but your finance deals are going down. Focusing on the finance deals. So setting goals this way, tracking them this way, and viewing these charts gives you the best way to know what you're doing and where you're going. Now, my name is Chris Cochran. I'm with the McDavid Group. I can be reached at chris@themcdavidgroup.com. Cell phone's 561-685-0133. I'm going to put our website in this link. Click on it if you want to learn more about the McDavid Group. Maybe we can even do a Saturday morning meeting for you. Just reach out to us. Check out our website. It shows you everything that we do. Reach out to me if you have any specific questions. I'll be glad to help you out. We can get into this in a little bit more detail. I hope this helped you. Chris@themcdavidgroup.com. Have a great week.